Hey guys, this is the Mall Fox here, and today I'm going to show you guys the North Plains Mall, located in Clovis, New Mexico. History for this mall starts in July of 1984, when two representatives of Salt Lake City-based Price Development Company attended a monthly breakfast meeting with the Clovis Chamber of Commerce to discuss intentions to build a brand new regional enclosed mall. Price Development Company was spearheaded by John Price, and they built malls all across the Southwest and Mountain States. Price specialized in mid-markets, staying away from major metropolitan areas, as stated by Dwayne Rasmussen, leasing consultant of Price Development Company, alongside Richard Robbins, who were giving the presentation that day. He concluded with, quote, "We think it will be an exciting project for all of us," end quote. Several months later, ground was broken for the site of the North Plains Mall at 10 a.m. on January 10, 1985. Plans called for a 320,000 square foot mall anchored by Walmart, JCPenney, and Bealls. Bealls was a new addition to the Clovis, New Mexico area, with the majority of their footprint being in Texas where they were based. Walmart was a new addition to Clovis as well. However, JCPenney was moving from their downtown location they had on North Main Street. The mall was set to have about 41 stores. However, less than a month before the planned October opening, 5 of the planned stores had been forced to halt construction by State Building Inspector Bill Nance. The contractor that was constructing those stores was reportedly without a license to operate, with stores affected being Gordon Jewelers, Hallmark Card Shop, Orange Julius, Mario's Pizza, and Caramel Corn. Eventually, these issues were resolved as these tenants were part of the opening day roster. The grand opening of the mall was October 16, 1985, with all anchors, Walmart, JCPenney, and Bealls, opening on that day. Some stores found here at opening included Revco, Gordon's Jewelry, Caramel Corn, Taco Box, Orange Julius, Foot Locker, Maurice's, and more. With space for 41 shops, this was now the new shopping mall for not just Clovis, but an entire region. This is the only shopping mall that was ever built within a 95-mile circle. Although the original plans called for a 320,000 square foot shopping mall, by the time it was built, the true total size was roughly 230,000 square feet. That also could have been a typo in the newspapers, I'm not really sure. The mall featured an earth tone tile floor with 8-foot-long tile planters in the middle of the mall. 10 skylights lined the mall and featured live plants and planters beneath them. Stores in the mall were allowed to build mostly whatever facade they wanted, with many during the era featuring mirrored designs. The aesthetic language of this mall has actually not been touched since its opening day in 1985. It remains beautifully preserved, and honestly, it doesn't look gaudy or unattractive or really even outdated. This is just kind of how a small town mall is supposed to look, in my opinion. In 1985, the mall got a standalone Commonwealth Theater on the outside of the mall with 4 screens. The theater opened in 1986 and is still operational today as Allen Theaters with 7 screens. The rest of the 1980s went smoothly for the shopping mall, and in November of 1988, construction on an addition to the mall began. Sears had occupied downtown space in Clovis since 1958 at 701 Main Street. They closed their downtown location when they moved to the new roughly 43,000 square foot store at the North Plains Mall. The grand opening was August 30th, 1989, and it marks the one and only expansion this mall has ever had. After the Sears addition, the total size of the mall stood at roughly 275,000 square feet. History of the mall throughout the 1990s is relatively quiet, with the mall being host to numerous community events like art shows, car shows, and more. One notable thing that did happen during the 1990s was the remodeling of the Bealls store at the mall, which celebrated their grand opening on March 13, 1997. During this time, advertisements boasted at least 31 stores operating inside the mall, with many back-to-school ad sales and Christmas deals being shown off in the newspapers. At some point during the late 1980s and into the early 1990s, Walmart would also expand and renovate their store at the mall, adding an additional roughly 25,000 square feet. However, Walmart would not stay around forever at the North Plains Mall. A big change for the mall's roster happened when Walmart departed the mall on September 15, 1998 for a new Supercenter location nearby, which opened the next day, I believe. The mall's manager was optimistic about the mall going into the holiday season, but tenants were not so hopeful. Many tenants reported that sales were down considerably, especially ones near the now vacant Walmart. This would not be an issue for long, however, because on March 23, 2000, it was announced that Dillards would come to the North Plains Mall and remodel the old Walmart anchor space. It was stated that people that would normally have to go to Amarillo or Lubbock could now stay in town to shop at a Dillards. The 95,000 square foot store opened on August 25, 2000. The mall would change hands for the first time in 2002 when General Growth Properties, then the second largest mall operator in the country, acquired JP Realty and its 18 regional malls for a deal totaling $1.1 billion. JP Realty at this point had malls across 10 Pacific and Western Mountain states, and this deal included the North Plains Mall in Clovis. In the following months, the new management worked to fill the vacant spaces at North Plains Mall, although the mall was still at a quite healthy 89% occupancy rate. One thing I'm going to kind of tack on here is that the mall got a small food court carved out of inline space sometime in the late 1990s that had a couple restaurants in it at one point. So, at this point in the timeline during the 2000s, the total square footage of the mall was 303,000 square feet, and it featured JCPenney, Bealls, Sears, and Dillards as anchors. The mall was owned by General Growth Properties, or GGP for short, and things were looking good. The mall coasted through the 2000s as a pretty standard mall, with chain stores you would come to expect at any decent mall in a medium to smaller town. GGP, who owned the mall, did file Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in 2009 following the 2008 financial crisis. However, the mall was largely unaffected by the filing. An ownership change happened again when, in 2012, GGP created a spin-off company called Rouse Properties Incorporated, which saw about 30 of GGP's properties transferred into the new company. If you are in the know and are slightly confused, General Growth Properties, in their mass acquisition spree, acquired the Rouse Company in 2004, who were known for developing many malls across the United States. Essentially what happened here is they were bringing back the name as a new company with the 30 malls that they transferred into it. The mall kept chugging through the 2010s, doing okay for itself. During the mall's 30th anniversary event in 2015, it was stated that the mall still had original tenants like Zales, Gordon's Jewelers, Radio Shack, and Maurice's, and it cited the various stores and restaurants that have come and gone in years past, like Taco Box, KB Toys, Mario's Pizza, Stevenson's Clothing, and more. The mall also had another ownership change when Brookfield Asset Management acquired Rouse Properties in 2016 for a deal totaling $2.8 billion. This marks the fourth owner that the mall has had, including the developer that built it, JP Realty. Unfortunately, in the late 2010s, we would start to see anchors close en masse at enclosed malls, and North Plains Mall would not be spared. During September of 2017, it was announced that Sears would close their doors by year's end, and in 2020 it was also announced that Dillards would close at the mall as part of a 3-store closure. Bealls, which was rebranded into Stage around 2016, also closed when the entire company went under in 2020, and the pad is still vacant to this day, but does still see seasonal use currently as Spirit Halloween. By the way, what we're looking at right now is a model train exhibit that I do believe is still in the mall to this day. Mike Cohan of Cohan Realty Investment Group purchased a couple of malls from Brookfield Asset Management in 2021, including the North Plains Mall. Luckily, he did not control this mall for very long, as Colorado man Sam Mick purchased the North Plains Mall in February of 2023. His intentions were to revitalize the mall, with a big focus on filling the vacant anchor pads. He had a running relationship with a farm and home store called Big R, and he planned to bring a store to the mall. Big R stores are farm, ranch, and home goods stores with about 35 locations across the Midwest. He would be successful, as Big R opened in the old Sears pad in October of 2023. To deal with the vacant Dillards pad, management subdivided the space to bring in big box tenants, Ross, Marshalls, Shoe Department Encore, and Ulta Beauty, which all opened throughout the last couple years in the 2020s. This footage is about a year old now, but today in 2026 there are still national chains in the mall, and I think that's a good sign. Another good sign is that Mike Cohan wasn't allowed to ruin this mall with deferred maintenance, just not paying the bills, and other horrible things he does as a mall owner. Hopefully, under the ownership of Sam Mick, this mall can stay leased and, keep good tenants here and fill up vacant space that this mall does have. Now, before we end this video, I just want to take a few minutes and talk about the man behind this mall. John Price was born in Germany in 1933 as, and I'm going to try my best to pronounce this, Hans Joachim Price. During his childhood, he and his family lived through Kristallnacht and fled the country in 1939 to Panama, before eventually making their way to the United States. He moved to Utah at age 18 and graduated from the University of Utah in 1956. A year later, he founded his construction company that would eventually become JP Realty Incorporated. Throughout his life, he was a seasoned marathon runner, he raced Baja trucks and several endurance races in the early 1980s, and he built malls throughout the western and Pacific United States. He has also climbed Mount Everest, has been on Jay Leno's Garage, and he owns a vintage racing museum. Also, the College of Engineering at the University of Utah is named after him. Eventually, he would leave the realty business and he became the United States ambassador to Mauritius and Seychelles for a few years. He married his wife, Marcia Poulsen, in 1957, and later went on to have 3 children. And as of the recording of this video, John Price is still alive. He's currently 92 or 93 years old. This guy certainly has lived an interesting, meaningful life, and I thought it was necessary to detail the story of the guy who thought it necessary to maul areas of the western United States. If you guys want to learn more about John Price and kind of the timeline of his life, and also his appearance on Jay Leno's Garage, I'm going to be leaving links in the description for both of those things. But that's going to conclude my video on the North Plains Mall. If you guys enjoyed this video, hit the like button to show your support, and if you want to see more, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel and ring the bell. That way you'll never miss a future upload. Drop a comment down below if the North Plains Mall was a mall of your youth, or if you just want to leave me a nice comment to read. And otherwise, stay tuned for the next mall video.